there is no age for success. So today with us, we have founders of Miirak, which is a youth-driven clothing brand. And with us today, we have Adnan and Aftab, founders of Miirak. We welcome you, Adnan and Aftab, to Cascade of Thoughts. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing good, bro. How are you?
Good, good. How are you?
We are great. All right, so let me ask you this question. We know that Miirak is a clothing brand, but
Yeah.
what more there is to Miirak than just clothing? Like,
See, basically, it's based in Dubai, yeah? So we want to combine all the ideas of the youth living over here. So we want to get those ideas and then put it on a cloth and then sell it based on the
not
people living
only-
over here.
It's like
not
we don't only want to come out as a clothing brand. We want to showcase talent of other youth as well, because there are so many people, like so many artists in UAE itself that are like underrated. Like people don't know about them. So what I try to do is I try to contact these kind of people and I tell them like, if you guys can make something, I'll give you.
we tell
I'll
them
give
to
you
make designs
on
and then
everything,
we
and
then, if we
I'll
like it, we then edit it and then we use that stuff too.
Yeah, like our
For the-
previous drop, the design on that was actually not made by us. It was made by a friend called Pratham. And he wanted to start a clothing brand as well, but then he never went through with that idea. So I contacted him. I was like, yo, bro, you have all these designs and they're all so good. And like, I know I don't want them to go to waste, because like you have that talent in you, but like, I understand if you don't want to get into the clothing brand business because like it's
Because
a lot
opening a
more,
clothing brand is a long procedure. It's a long
because
procedure.
I
It's
spent
not that
7 months of
easy.
my own time learning all about this stuff. So I was like, it's completely understandable if you don't want to completely get into it. But if you want, I can take your designs and I can put them, I can give you commission, I can give you whatever you want for it, and I'll sell it for you. And like both of us win from it, because he gets his idea out there, I get my brand
Because
out there.
making the design is just a primary thing, That's the first step. There are many steps to it
Just a
after
small
that.
part, yeah.
And going through that steps, yeah, people, when they get to know the steps, yeah, they're like, nah, we can't
When
do
they
it,
realize how much time it takes, it's like,
It takes a
you know
lot
what,
of time for one
it's
drop.
fine, I will do it.
so for it, yes,
And
it
then
takes a lot
if
of
you don't
time.
know, if you may ask how we started this, it was all a joke. At the beginning, it was all a joke.
Literally a joke. We didn't
Yeah.
mean for us to start a clothing brand. It was literally one night Aftab calls me. He's like, hey, dude, I'm selling some caps. I'm buying it from here. I'm selling it to this guy. I was like, why are you doing that? We can just start a clothing brand now and do this and do that. And he was like, haha, yeah. And then the next day I was like, you know what? Maybe that is a good idea.
And we discussed
that's
all
when I
that in
started
school.
posting all this stuff up. And then like 6 months later, here we are. Like this was the first thing I
And we
made.
researched all the stuff. We got our manufacturers. There's that material, design, and then boom.
It was
So
quite
again, great things start with an accident,
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah, I guess.
I guess, yeah.
Okay, so summarize that you guys just, if you say philosophically, you guys sell the expression of different artists,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
right? Okay, so Ira, I have a question for you. Over to you, Ira.
Yeah, so as young entrepreneurs, what does entrepreneurship primarily mean to you?
For me, taking risk, as we did. We didn't know how to do it at the beginning, what steps to take, how will this thing work, because we are totally new to it. Yeah, we didn't know anything. So I think it's risk to make money.
Mm-hmm. Entrepreneurship
Basically, any
using your
Yeah, yes.
resources and finding all the other people. It's like finding all the raw materials and raw resources around you and putting them all together just for your financial gain. And that's basically what we did. We went and we sourced people from so many different countries. Like I went through China, Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, and we were looking through all these places for
To get
someone
the
who could give us the
materials.
best deal. And yeah, just put in money and expect something better out of it. Not necessarily profit, but maybe, like you can put in money and you gain knowledge from it. And if you don't make money,
It's all a risk, yeah, at the end, because you don't know if it's going to work out or not.
yeah. And the best thing is that even if you're not making money from it, I wouldn't call it a loss. It's more like paying for experience.
You're learning, you know.
That's what we do, yeah. Because like a first job, I'm not saying it was the best. Like we didn't make a lot of money from it, but like we learned so much from it. Like I think that it was honestly like one of the best
Like
things
the
we did,
mistakes
because
we made,
the
yeah, we learned
amount,
from it, and
yeah,
we are
the
not
amount
doing
of
it now,
stuff
you
we
know.
learned from it was like, it was worth it to me.
I think it's safe to say this whole journey has been a roller coaster ride for you guys. So on to
Yeah,
Lakshya.
many ups and downs.
Many ups and downs, so many days just being stressed about what to do next,
Yeah,
or
some days were
trying
good, you
different
know,
things.
you're like relaxed and like, oh, everything is going on. Next thing you get to know,
Literally the last week,
yeah,
last
next thing
week,
you get to know, you get a
last
call, I
week,
can't do this, this thing is not working, the stitching is not proper.
the
And
second drop that we had, I don't think I have it with me right now, but that took really long. It took maybe like 4 months or something. We switched like 3 suppliers and we went through so
because
many
people can't
different
get the
tasks.
exact design, yeah,
I think
exact
there were
design, the
four
material.
different samples for it. It was just so much work. And you know, at one point we were like, you know what, maybe it's not worth all this time, but like we still went through with it, and it came out as a success. Like
We
it's
found
still
the right
working
guy
good
and
for
then
us.
it worked out.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we found the guy, and like now we can work with the same guy over and over again. We don't need to find like a different supplier for our new drops. And the guy is like pretty quick with his like work. Yeah, like I don't need to wait. Like the first guy that we found, he took maybe like 6 days to make one thing, and then he took another like 2-3 weeks to make the second thing, and then he never went through with it. So I was like, you know, that's not how I want to do business. Like if I'm going to do business, I want it to be fast and quick, because you know this world is like really fast paced. Like if you're not up with everyone at the same pace, like you're going to be left behind. So that's why I wanted to find someone
Because
that
the
can do the
customers are not
work
going to
fast.
wait for you. Yeah, if you show them something and if they want it, they'll be like, yeah, okay, get it to me. You can't
Yeah,
just
no
be
one
like,
waits.
okay, after a month or something, you want it. He'll obviously change his mind and would have bought something else by then.
Yeah, we lost a lot of customers like that because again, we weren't perfect by the second drop. We still learned a lot from the second thing
Still
as well.
learning, you know, gaining
We
experience.
started promoting too early, like before we had anything ready, like solid to show people. And yeah, and I went promoting around with the first sample, and then we never even went through with the same supplier. Like the material is so much better now compared to what we were showing people.
Okay, that thing happens a lot. So whenever someone starts a new company, and one of the major thing that happens to them, they start promoting before they are selling or before they are on, before they have
Yeah,
something established.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
this is something which most of the people can connect to. So when you started promoting at a very early stage, before even establishing proper, warehouse or something like that, what were the problems? Again, you said you lost customers, but what more to it?
It's not necessarily about warehouses. I mean, in Dubai, especially because Dubai is just so open towards business, and not only Dubai, just UAE in general. They're just so open to business. Like you don't need a warehouse. You can set it up. You can have your house as your office destination and stuff like that with your official registration card and all that stuff. You don't necessarily need a warehouse because obviously this is e-commerce, so we don't need a physical location for it. We just need a place where we're shipping out stuff from, which can be anywhere. I can give my house address or anything like that, or I can rent like one of the, there are like many offices you can rent for maybe really cheap, and you can use that as your physical location. That's all fine. But yeah, there were so many difficulties going through with this.
Because
Yeah,
people tend to
huh.
lose interest in it, you know.
That thing happens. Like if now
Like
and
if
if
I
people
tell
start.
you, okay, if you like something and I'll be like, okay, I have it right now, I'll give it to you later. You'll be like, okay. Then again, you'll be like, I'll give it to you later. At the
Yeah.
end of the time, you'll be like frustrated. You'll be like, I don't want this.
Yeah, it's
I
like the
prefer getting
same
something
thing.
else.
Like I know everyone's probably experienced it if you've ordered from Amazon or something, and like you've gotten your deliveries. They call you up and they're like, you know what, it'll be delayed by a week or something, and you're like, I might as well order from somewhere else. Like there's so much competition in the world. Like anyone will give you a better deal. So if you're not getting it from one place, you're gonna go to another place. You're not gonna
And
wait
the worst
because
part is the
like
refund
time is
option, you
money.
know.
Yeah,
The money's gone.
money's gone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, so
That's how it works.
let's take it to the very beginning. So how you guys started? Again from a
Oh,
joke, but yeah, like when you had proper beginning, or when you thought of idea, when you started making structure design and all that?
Okay. First, we started with the design and stuff. First,
I
as
think
we told you, it
first,
was
like
the
if you look
caps
at
and
our
all, yeah?
page, yeah, we had caps and all that on our page. Like it's archived now, but like the first post that we had were of caps, and we were just starting to resell caps. We didn't mean to start the brand at first. We had our name was 44 caps or something like that, and all we were doing was selling caps.
And then
And
we were not selling caps by making it. Like we were taking from another company and then giving it out.
yeah, because see,
Yeah.
this is the problem. Yeah, those guys weren't promoting, so no one really knew about them. Those guys were just selling the caps without any promotion. So what we were doing was we were promoting this and we were selling their stuff and we were making like a small profit on that. And eventually, obviously, 44 isn't exactly the best name for a clothing brand. Like I don't know. So I was just in the car one day and my dad was like, "Hey, you know what? Just go with Miirak." And I was like, "What's that?" And he's like, your surname, Aftab Khan, AK,
And that's
and
my
I just got a
initials.
name like that. And I mean, that's how a lot of brands start their names. And I was like, yeah, that's a pretty cool idea. And then I had to go through the whole procedure of looking up if this name's taken by another company, if there's another company registered with the domain, am I going to get sued for using this name? And eventually we settled with the 2 eyes because it just looks more fancy. And yeah, and then we just started
That
designing.
took like a
I was
month
just
to
going through,
find out,
yeah, I was
everything
just
on
going
the
through
net.
Photoshop one day and I was like, just going through designs and fonts, etc. And then I saw some good fonts and stuff that I liked, and I just started doing my thing. And eventually, I came up with this design, and I was like, "Yeah, let's make it on a hoodie."
Yeah.
All right, over to you, Ira.
All right. So you guys do agree that this whole society is pretty age biased, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So why is it necessary for young people to essentially put their foot down in such an age biased society?
That's a tricky
But there
question,
what?
actually. I wouldn't say it's completely biased. Like, I understand why sometimes that these guys try to be biased because, it's not just like, if you look at it at a macro scale, like if you look at everyone, you'll realize that the maturity levels between, even in the same age group, like they differ like really, really vastly. Like, I might be
From
really
people to
mature
people.
and then like someone else might not be as mature in the same age level. And that's why I think that they've kept it so it's 18 plus, because that's like the general age where people reach the, at least enough, they have enough maturity to understand the world. But yeah, it's true that they should try to make exceptions for people like you and I and so many other artists and other entrepreneurs at this age, because it's easier to get ahead in life the earlier you start. Yeah, because at this age you have like, you don't need to worry about a lot of other things, like where you're going to get your food from, what you're going to do
You can learn
tomorrow,
all this stuff right
rent and
now.
all that stuff. You can learn all this from now.
From
So
your
yeah, I
mistakes,
mean,
gain experience.
while I understand why it's 18 plus, but I think it should really be lowered, or at least, they should give opportunities or be flexible with people, young people especially, with their ideas.
Okay, that makes sense. One more question. What value does Mirak hold? As in, what's his motto and how has it changed your life?
Changed our life. Okay. We didn't
We're
know we
quite
were gonna.
free.
Yeah, continue.
Yeah, we're quite free people. Like, we like to do whatever makes us happy, and that's like what we've kept the motto as: a world with no bounds.
World
Like,
with
we
no
don't want to
bounds.
be, we don't, like, a lot of people are there who judge you, who tell you what to do, and then there's that society kind of thing around you. Like, you stay inside your bubble, and that's not like the type of people that we like to be. That's why
We
a
don't like
world
to
with no
follow people,
bounds. Like, we don't want to be
We like to
like
do our
influenced
stuff,
by
follow
some
our
other rule.
things,
Yeah,
get up
it's
with our
like
own
just
ideas,
do
make the
what makes
design from the
you
scratch,
happy.
beginning, everything, and not just get it from someone
Anything
else.
that makes you happy is like what we want to do. That's what we're trying to show. Like, even though we were only 16, 17, like, we still did something that not a lot of people would think about at that age. And that's what we want to try to show people. Like, like, age is just a number. Like, you can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter what your age is. You can be 65 and you can still do something great. Like, I mean, KFC started like that. The guy was like 65, 66 or
But on the
something, and
other
then,
hand, you get hatred too.
Yeah, there's
The
like
other
so many
side.
people who try to bring you down. But I mean, it doesn't matter about
Yeah.
those kind of people. Those are the type of people that we're trying to exclude from this, like try to go against. Like that's the bound part of
Because
our
of
life.
those people, you will succeed, you know, because you'll know someone
We
is
need
there,
to
huh?
try to find a way to break that bubble and just get out of it. And yeah, just succeed in
Because
life.
there's
So we have
competition
to
also
work
in this
with those
market, you know,
people.
A lot competition.
with other brands, yeah, selling at
Yeah.
the same point. So it's like,
So right, I'll ask you about the very first obstacle you that came when you were setting this up.
very first.
First
The
obstacle.
okay, the very first and
It wasn't
the
the
worst.
design. It wasn't the design.
I think it was convincing my parents, maybe.
Yeah, no.
Maybe, I don't know. It was quite a while back, yeah. I have to think about
Worst
this.
was I feel like the manufacturer, you know, finding the guy who can make the proper design, who
No,
can
I
get
think for
that
me, it
stuff.
was convincing my parents that it's a safe thing to do it from abroad and not like find someone locally. That's what I'm talking about because this one was made in Pakistan, and like we were transferring money to some random guy who we've never met before, and we didn't
Okay,
really
like
know
that,
him.
yeah.
But yeah, that was like one obstacle that we went through because we weren't sure like what if we gave him all this money and then like he just dipped on us, like he didn't text us back or anything.
As I
But
told you, it's all risk, you know, it's all risk. That guy can
yeah,
just
that
dip
was
off and
like
be
a
like, I
really
didn't
big
get anything.
obstacle.
Then,
I think
we
we
have
spent
to
quite a time thinking about
find that
whether we still
guy,
want to go through that
then
guy.
get our money back, all that stuff.
Yeah,
But
and then there were times
Alhamdulillah,
like
everything
after
went
the
well.
payment, the guy didn't text us back, and like we were just kind of like scared about what to do, and then
Because it's
eventually
variation in
it all
time,
worked
yeah, there and here,
out. Yeah,
in
it was
US and
quite
all that stuff.
quite a
So
thing. Eventually, it did go through though, so we're happy about that.
communicating is
So,
the biggest, I feel like the
yeah,
worst,
communication.
communicating,
That's been
because
a
they live in
problem
a
with
different
every single person because
region.
yeah, most of our work is abroad, so we need to match up on times. Like I have to wake up at like 8 a.m. in the morning to talk to some of the people about how production is going. But I mean, it's
Because
just
it's
like
day over there.
something
And then
there.
when we sleep, it's like some nighttime, I think, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to communicate. That's the worst part. And if you communicate people in China and all that stuff, yeah, they don't really know English. So they Google Translate.
Yeah,
And
language as well. Language
extra.
barriers. But I don't think language is that big of a deal anymore. Like I think
Yeah,
a lot
now
of
it's
people
cool.
can speak English, so we just speak in English with most of the people. I think that's like a good thing about the world right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me make you feel a little nostalgic. So just think that you have completed all the necessary things, and just you are waiting for someone to order, and you
Mm-hmm.
just check that there is an order. Now I want you
Okay.
to tell from where the order was, how did you guys delivered it, and what were the procedures? How did you just manage that the first order you got?
First order.
First order.
Who was the first guy?
I don't know, but we actually got a little bit lucky with Chris Fade promoting us on his Instagram and his
Oh,
Instagram
that was
stories.
like we went
It's
on a
like
photo shoot
creative
to which place was it?
D3,
Where did we go? We
D3.
went to D3 with our friends for a photo shoot. We got a guy, a photographer, one of my friends, and then we were there. And then we were walking past by Starbucks, I think, and then he was
Yeah,
in. So we did the
and we
photo
just
shoot, and
waited
then we
for him
came back,
outside.
and we were like, we first waited for him, and then we were like, nah, because he
He'll come
was in a
out.
meeting or something. He was with someone. But then when we came back, we were sitting at Starbucks, and then he came out, and then we were like, hi, and then we
Yeah,
told him about
as soon as he started promoting it on his story, like I just saw like my Instagram was
yeah.
blowing up with like so many notifications, and like just because of that one thing, I'm not saying that like all the people who followed him were the ones who ordered it, but like just because he did that,
It
like a lot
helped
of
us,
people started promoting our stuff, and it just got a wider audience, and like people just started
like we
coming
got
to us.
many messages, yeah, like young entrepreneurs, good motivation, blah.
People
So it
just
made us
wanted
happy,
to know like what this was out of curiosity.
It's not like
They just started
everyone bought from
messaging us.
him. Like we got good stuff, like good quotes, good
We got good
statements by
things,
other people, yeah.
basically.
So we were like happy, yeah. So
Yeah, so we would just
because
get
even when
orders and we started typing that up in our Excel sheets with address and whatever, and Aftab just went ahead and delivered whatever, or some of them we sent through like the shipping cargo
because even when
company.
he got to know, yeah, he really liked our idea and all that stuff. Yeah. We were like 16 or something at that time, so he was more like impressed, like doing something at that age.
Yeah, I think
Because no
cargo
one,
is
yeah,
really different.
when you tell that, yeah, we own a company, like we have a clothing brand, nobody,
It's just something out
like the
of the
first
ordinary.
reaction is like, at this age, like how are you gonna manage it?
Okay,
And
so
all that stuff.
would you want to carry on with Miirak as a long-term project, or is it just something that you're doing until college or until you fly off for further studies?
The future of Miirak, at least as I see it, it's never really gonna be like my main focus, but I'm always gonna continue this as a side kind of thing because obviously there's like I wanna go into engineering and all that, so that's like my main focus right now. But yeah, Miirak, I don't think I will be stopping it because of college or something like that. I think I'm still gonna go ahead
We'll
with it
side by
even with
side
college.
continue it,
There's always a way for it to work out. I'll find someone to
because
do
if you're
it if I can't
seeing
do it myself.
because if you're seeing a growth in your business, yeah, you should not stop it. If
And
you're seeing a
especially like
growth and you're going
it would
up
be
and
like a
up,
waste for me because I spent, like I said in the beginning, I spent 7 months, and even after that I've spent like 2 years now. It's more than 2 years right now studying all this stuff. So I think it'd be like a really big disappointment if I just stopped it all of a sudden just because I wanted to pursue dreams of education and whatever.
then it's
I
just a
think,
waste whatever you did.
yeah, I don't want all of this to just go down the drain just like that. Like I still want to continue making stuff for people and promoting other small artists and stuff.
Okay, yeah, Lakshya.
All right. So, which is that one thing which kept, motivating you guys to, just keep working on Mirak? Like there were there are, of course, there are a lot of ups and a lot of downs, but yeah, there is this constant thing which keeps us inspired and motivated. What was that thing for you?
The customers, like everyone always wanted something new. Like so many people kept texting us, telling us ideas. Whenever they would see something online, they would text me and they would be like, yo dude, you should go ahead, you should make this, dude, this is so good, dude, you should go do this and this and this. And I
For
was like,
me,
so many people are interested in new clothes. They all want to buy something, like they're being so supportive about it. So I was like, it'd be bad if I didn't go through with it. So they've always been there, like supporting me, and that's like my motivation to still continue this stuff.
for me, it was when we sold the first drop, and then I was not really sure about it. Like how would people react with it, like the customers, yeah, because we didn't know any one of them. It was not like our friends bought it. Yeah, it was. I think maybe one of our friends bought, but then other than one or two, other than that, it was
Most of
all
them were
random.
just
Yeah.
random people, yeah.
So like I wasn't sure. Like I knew the quality is good and all that stuff, like the material and all and the design, but like like inside in my heart I was like like because I was doing it for the first time, yeah, and I didn't have that confidence in me that it'll work out, people will like it, even though the customer has it. So after that, after a week or something, we started asking reviews about it, yeah, like how do you feel about it, do you like it or not? And then when I saw the reaction, yeah, like everything was good, like they're like it's comfortable and all that. So I was like, finally it worked out. Then I was like a bit calm and all, yeah. I was like, okay, let's do this. Let's go for the second drop. That's when I got motivated. And I was like, yeah, let's go.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense actually. At PurpleSpace, we always like to end on a very positive and inspirational note. So I just like to ask you, what advice do you have to what advice would you give your younger self when you were starting out, or other people who other teenagers essentially who are trying to start out with a business?
Do I start or Alan, you're gonna start?
Any of
Okay, I'll speak. Okay, so starting up in the beginning, keep your ideas with you. Don't share it to anyone. Because, you can't trust anyone in this. See, business, and you should keep your friends away from this. Business is different, friends are different. So at the beginning, you should, how do I tell this?
Keep
You
your
should
ideas
start with
with
your own
yourself.
ideas. Think what you want to do, which firm or like clothing or caps or whatever you want to do. And then if you can do it by yourself, then start off by yourself, because you're gonna find many people who are gonna stop you in the way at the start only. If you're gonna speak it to someone, nah, you can't do this, it's not possible at this age, blah 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 blah. Many people will come in your way, because when we started our thing, there were like 3-4 of our friends, they also did the same thing. But then when they got to know that the procedure is long, they just gave up. So there'll be many people coming in your way, but then you should keep it to yourself. Or someone like, see, I had Adnan, we were really close in school. So I told this guy, I want to do this. And then we both had the same interests. So we landed up in this thing. And the main thing we have is trust, that's really important in a business. If you don't have that, it's all gone. It's all a waste. Yeah, that's it.
I think I would suggest people to research about what you're gonna do first. Just don't just dive into it without any knowledge. That's just like a fool's play. If you want something, if you think your idea is really good, and you don't need to worry about funding, as long as your idea is good and you can go ahead and you have that confidence for it, you'll find a way to fund yourself. And just don't rely on luck, because personally I don't believe in luck. It's more like chance. Like, you should try to control your own fate. And if you have confidence, if you have a
1
good
second.
idea, you just
Luck
go
works
ahead
on
with it.
TikTok. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, if you have that mindset to go ahead and you have that confidence, I think anyone can be successful. Just don't go ahead with something without having proper knowledge about it, though. Like, always research before you do anything. And this is not to demotivate anyone. This is just, to be safer. And, because
You need
if
to
you're going
learn
to
your
go like
market.
straight into it without any research, it's not going to last for a long time. Like, you should always do a little bit of research to figure out like what your plan is, like lay out a plan. It's fine to be spontaneous and stuff, but there should always be like a base plan that you guys should, like a structure kind of thing that you should go through with. And that's about it.
All right. So before just ending, I just wanted to ask you guys are still shipping in this, coronavirus era,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
you guys are shipping everywhere in the world.
We were planning on worldwide shipping and we had everything ready, but the rates right now are just too high, and I don't want to like
Because
charge
of the
people
pandemic.
more than what they want to pay. Like, I don't want to force them to pay a lot for shipping. So I'm just holding on worldwide shipping. I'm just working on UAE right now. But eventually, we will work on worldwide shipping. And I know there are people who will be like, oh, we wanted to buy that drop, but you sold out in UAE. So I'm going to try to do something about that as well, maybe like restock or something, but don't quote
I
me on
want
that.
to buy your stuff because I really liked you. I stalked you, and your work is really great, and that's why I was doing
Thank
like
you.
this.
Yeah, soon we're going to start shipping. As soon as everything becomes okay, we're going to start
You're not in
shipping.
Dubai, yeah?
No,
I'm
he's
in
in
India.
India.
Oh.
India is actually easier for us to ship to because we have given out stuff to people over there as well. So that's easier for us to ship to. That's like maybe the first place that we're going to start shipping to, because we already know people over there, trustworthy people, of course.
And home country, Yeah.
All right, so that was very inspiring and very amazing to talk to you guys. And yes, you might have, like, after hearing this, people, young teenager will be inspired to start
Really cool.
what they have implanted the ideas for. So thank you, Adnan and Aftab, and
Thank you to you guys too. I
Thank
enjoyed
you
it.
guys for
It
having
was
us.
nice.
Yeah,
It was
this
fun.
was really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you for
Welcome.
coming to PurpleSpace Cascade of Thoughts. We hope to, we'll put up your socials so that people can follow you and see your work as well. And we hope you
Thank
get
you.
more customers and we get, well,
We hope
I
success
get
for you
what I
guys
want.
too.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. This was great.